Ever feel like your brain's trying to sprint a marathon while juggling, I don't know, flaming chainsaws?
Ah.
It's rough out there. Information overload is basically the standard setting these days, right?
Yeah, it's a lot.
But here's the thought. Tibetan monks, they've been dealing with this kind of mental chaos for centuries. Like they turned it into a whole mental fitness system.
Exactly.
So today we're diving into, well, their world, Tibetan Buddhist approaches to concentration. And no, before you tune out thinking this is all about emptying your mind.
Right. It's not about that blank slate thing.
Not at all.
It's more about getting what they call the continuum, the mind's natural state.
Okay, hit me with it. What's the continuum?
Picture a river, always flowing, always moving, thoughts, emotions, senses, all that mental stuff. It's like the currents swirling around in that river.
So are we stuck on this mental whitewater trip with no way off?
Not even close. That's the cool part. We can train our minds to, I don't know, navigate those currents. Instead of getting tossed around, it's like learning to surf. You ride the waves.
Okay, sign me up for surf lessons. Although, full disclosure, my coordination is about as graceful as a... Well, you know what? The text actually compares an untrained mind to a wild camel. Not exactly the image of Zen mastery, is it?
I guess not. Wild camels, they're unpredictable, easily distracted, kind of a pain to handle.
And that's my brain on a Tuesday, yeah.
But just like training an actual camel, it takes what? Patience, some skill, but you can train your mind too.
So how do we even start taming this inner wild camel? What's step one?
First level of the practice, it's all about building that core concentration. And it starts with something surprisingly simple, choosing a support.
A support, like a mental cheerleader.
Kind of, but more like a focal point. It could be an actual physical object, a stone maybe, or something you visualize, like a seed syllable, one of those ancient symbols.
Seed syllable. Okay, that sounds a little less everyday focus and more like mystical chanting.
The point is, you pick something that really grabs your attention, whatever works. It's your target for that mental focus.
So could it be like that really cool houseplant I've been babying?
Sure, why not? Whatever works for you.
So, okay, I've got my support, my target. What do I do with it? Just stare at it?
That's where the gaze comes in. It's about cultivating like intensely focused attention on whatever you've chosen, every little detail. If it's a stone, notice the texture, the little color variations, even the flaws.
So we're not just glancing at it, it's really zeroing in.
Yeah.
I can see how that would, over time, build that mental stamina.
Exactly.
But I got to ask, what's the point of spending all this time focusing on, say, a rock?
Think of it like this. You hit the gym, right?
Every once in a while.
All right, so it's like doing reps, but for your brain. Building that ability to resist distractions, even if it's just for short bursts at first.
Ooh.
Just like any workout, consistency is key.
Right. No one's benching their own weight the first time they pick up a dumbbell. So we start small, build those mental biceps, one focused gaze at a time.
Got it.
But that's just level one, right? What happens when we level up in concentration world?
Oh, then things get really interesting.
Leveling up in concentration is like we're about to unlock some secret mental achievement, right? So what new mind tricks are we learning in level 2?
Think of level 2 as from stones to subtleties. We're leveling up our object of focus.
Okay, so I've mastered staring intently at my pet rock. Congrats to me, by the way. What's next? Close my eyes and try to picture it. Like a mental Instagram post or something.
Exactly. You're taking it internal, shifting from that physical object to holding the image in your mind's eye. And once you're comfortable with that, you can move on to even, I don't know, subtler visualizations like that seed syllable we talked about.
From rocks to mind pictures to ancient symbols. Okay, I see how this is progressing, but why go abstract? Why not stick with what we can actually see?
Because it's about, in a way, loosening our grip on solid reality.
Whoa, deep.
Right. It's about recognizing that so much of what we perceive is just our minds shaping things, right? By working with these increasingly subtle objects, we start to kind of see through that illusion of a fixed reality.
That's a pretty profound side effect of concentration training. It's not just about being focused. It's about understanding how our minds build our reality. Mind-blowing stuff.
You got it. And honestly, the shift in perspective, it's essential for those deeper levels of practice.
All right, now you've got me hooked. Level 3, lay it on me. What kind of mental hurdles are we talking about now?
Level 3 is where we really start working with that nonstop mental chatter. It's called mastering the mind's movements.
Huh?
And I know what you're thinking. No, it's not about emptying the mind completely, like achieving total silence up there.
Because that sounds terrifying, honestly.
Right.
So we're not aiming for a blank mind. What are we doing?
It's more like becoming aware of all those mental events, the thoughts, feelings, all of it, without getting swept away in their current.
So instead of trying to shut down the party in my head, I'm learning to be that really mindful observer, hanging out, sipping my metaphorical cocktail on the sidelines.
I like that image. The text calls it skill, which emphasizes something called non-cessation. Basically, it's the practice of noticing those thoughts, those feelings as they pop up, as they go, without feeling the need to engage with them or shove them away.
Okay, I'm already seeing myself failing spectacularly at this one. My to-do list alone is enough to derail any meditation session. How am I supposed to actually do this non-cessation thing? Give me some practical tips.
Think about watching clouds drift across the sky, right? You see them, you note they're there, but you're not trying to grab them or chase them away. Same with thoughts. Did I remember to buy milk? Let that thought float by. My presentation tomorrow is going to be a disaster. Observe it, don't judge it, and let it go.
Sounds so simple, yet so difficult at the same time.
Yeah,
You're saying by doing this, we're actually gaining a new level of clarity.
you got it. As you get better at this, at observing all that mental traffic without getting caught in it, you start to see your own mental habits more clearly. Like holding up a mirror to your own mind, you know?
Whoa! So not only are we training our focus, but we're getting a crash course in how our minds actually work, our own personal mental operating system. This is where it all becomes really relevant, don't you think?
Totally. This level, it's all about you understanding how your mind works, what your distractions are. It's customizing the practice to you.
Now that's what I call personalized mental fitness. But I can't help but wonder, what's at the top of this concentration mountain? What awaits at level 4? We've come a long way, haven't we? From taming those wild camel minds to seeing through the illusions of reality, all with the power of concentration.
It's quite a journey.
It is. But there's still one level left, that peak to climb. Level 4. What mental wonders await at the summit?
Level 4, it's where things get, well, really hard to put into words. Beyond breath, space, yoga, and the limit of concentration. Imagine reaching a state where even the tiniest bit of mental activity just dissolves.
Okay, now my mind's picturing a blank screen. Is this about achieving, like, total mental emptiness?
It's even, I don't know, subtler than that. The text describes it as being done with. It's like this profound stillness where even the sense of you, the meditator, disappears. They call it space yoga, using the very idea of emptiness as the object of meditation.
Emptiness as an object. That sounds like, I don't know, trying to grab onto smoke or something. How can something that's not there be something you focus on?
It's not about zoning out or emptying your mind in the sense of making it blank. Think of it like, have you ever gotten so absorbed in something that you completely lose track of time, of yourself even?
100%.
Yeah.
When I'm writing especially,
Yeah.
the rest of the world just fades away.
There you go. Level 4 is about cultivating that kind of awareness, but without needing that external anchor. It's pure, undifferentiated awareness. Hard to explain, but the text suggests it's a state of incredible peace, incredible insight.
Sounds both incredibly challenging and incredibly appealing, you know?
Definitely.
I think a lot of people, they hear meditation and they think that's the goal, right? To have this blank, empty mind.
It's a common misunderstanding for sure. The real aim isn't emptiness, it's equanimity. Not being disturbed by that constant flow of thoughts and emotions. Like we were saying before, riding the waves without getting pulled under.
So not about silencing the mind, but changing how we relate to all that mental activity.
Exactly. And to kind of illustrate this, the text uses these really cool metaphors for getting to that state of equanimity. One is Brahman's thread. It's about finding that balance between effort and ease in meditation.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
Imagine holding a thread, right? Too tight, it snaps. Too loose, it's useless.
Got to find that sweet spot.
Yeah. Right. Then there's the child viewing a temple. It's about coming to experience with that open curiosity, like a child, fascinated by everything, but not clinging to anything.
So we're cultivating that beginner's mind, the
Mhm.
wonder, but without getting attached.
Yes. And then there's the elephant pricked with thorns. It's about, not overreacting to every little mental thing that pops up. Like an elephant, it can get pricked by a thorn, but it doesn't freak out. It just keeps going.
Love that visual. Makes so much sense. We don't have to let every little mental annoyance throw us off course. What's the last one?
The last one's straw rope. It's about seeing through the illusion of a separate self.
Okay, that one might need a little more explanation.
Basically, it's saying that our sense of self, it's something our minds create. It's not this fixed, unchanging thing. It's just thoughts, feelings, perceptions, all bundled together. And by recognizing that, we can, loosen the grip of the ego, experience a deeper connection to, well, everything.
These metaphors are so helpful. They really bring these ideas to life.
Right.
But I'm sure some people listening are thinking, okay, that's all very profound, but what does this have to do with my everyday life?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Here's the thing. Even if you're not planning on becoming a monk anytime soon, these practices, they offer really valuable tools for navigating, well, modern life. We're all dealing with information overload, distractions, the pressure to do more faster.
Right.
But even starting with those basic practices, like picking a support, working on that focused gaze, it can make a real difference. Imagine being able to sit down and work on a project and stay focused. Being fully present in a conversation without your mind going a million miles an hour. Or just, not getting so swept away by stress and anxiety.
That sounds amazing and
Yeah.
incredibly useful. But I gotta admit, after going through all 4 levels, I'm a little, I don't know, overwhelmed. Where do I even begin?
The beauty is you can start anywhere, whatever resonates with you. Remember that first level, the stone, the seed syllable. Try a simple concentration practice. Pick an everyday object. Set a timer for, I don't know, 5 minutes a day, maybe. Gradually work your way up as you get more comfortable.
Start small, be consistent, just like any training program, right?
Exactly. And be kind to yourself. No one masters this overnight.
Definitely. It's a journey, not a destination.
Hmm.
The more you practice, the more you discover about, well, the potential of your own mind.
I love that.
This deep dive has been incredible. Thank you so much for guiding us through it.
My pleasure. It's been fun. And remember, that path to a calmer, more focused mind, it's always there for you. Just got to take that first step.
Wise words to end on. A huge thank you to our expert for sharing their insights, and to you, our amazing listeners, for joining us on this journey into the world of Tibetan Buddhist concentration practices. We'll catch you in the next deep dive.